I have a dream today. A dream that one day every child, no matter where they come from or what they look like, will have the same opportunities to rise, to learn, to be heard, and to achieve greatness. I have a dream that no matter how difficult the road, each person will be empowered to chase their purpose with relentless belief in their own potential. I have a dream that we will no longer allow the barriers that divide us to dictate who we become or how far we go. That we will no longer be boxed in by the expectations others have for us based on where we were born, the color of our skin, the accent in our voices, or the size of our bank accounts. I dream of a world where our differences do not separate us, but where we learn from one another, share in the strength of our diversity, and build communities rooted in understanding, compassion, and respect. I have a dream that one day every human being will know their worth. I dream of a world where insecurity, self-doubt, and fear will not control our minds and hearts, where no person is afraid to rise up and claim the greatness they were born with. It is not about being perfect. It is about knowing that you are enough just as you are. No matter the hurdles, no matter the challenges, each of us has something valuable to contribute to the world. I have a dream that every person, regardless of their background or circumstances, will have access to the resources, the education, and the opportunities they need to thrive. That no child will ever be denied the chance to learn, to grow, and to excel. I dream of a world where knowledge is not hoarded by a few, but where it flows freely, helping to uplift everyone who seeks it. I dream of classrooms that spark curiosity, mentors who ignite passion, and communities that celebrate every success, no matter how small. I dream of a future where the systems that hold us back, systems that tell us who we should be, where we should go, and what we should believe are dismantled. I dream of a society that sees the potential in every person, regardless of their background, their struggles, or their past. I dream of a future where no one is left behind, where no one is forgotten, and where every person has a fighting chance to make their mark on the world. This dream I have is not a dream of escapism, not a dream of running from the difficulties of life. It is a dream that understands the struggle, acknowledges the pain, and accepts the scars. It is a dream that says you may have fallen, but you can rise again. You may have failed, but you can try again. You may have been pushed down, but you have the strength to stand back up. This dream speaks not to the avoidance of adversity, but to the resilience to overcome it. I have a dream that one day the world will recognize that we all share a collective responsibility to lift one another up. That success is not a solitary pursuit, but something that grows when we support each other, when we give of ourselves without expecting anything in return. I dream of a world where helping others is not a rare act of charity, but a daily commitment, a world where kindness, love, and generosity are not seen as weaknesses, but as sources of strength. I dream of a time when every person can look at their reflection and see someone who is capable, someone who has overcome, someone who is powerful beyond measure. I dream of a world where no one ever feels unseen, unheard, or unimportant. A world where we are all recognized for the unique gifts we bring to the table, and where those gifts are valued, not just by society, but by ourselves. We must believe in our own value, our own worth, and in the beauty of the dreams that are uniquely ours to pursue. I have a dream that we will move beyond the limits of what we are told is possible. That we will break free from the constraints that society has placed on our imagination and creativity. I dream of a world where we will not be content with mediocrity, but where we will strive for excellence in everything we do. Where our ambitions are not dismissed as unrealistic, but encouraged as the fuel that drives us toward greatness. And in that world, I see the dream of leadership transformed. Leadership that is not defined by titles, positions, or privileges, but by the ability to inspire, to serve, and to create change. I see leaders who listen, leaders who care, and leaders who are not afraid to stand up for what is right, even when it is hard, even when the crowd may not understand. Leadership that understands that true power is not in commanding others, but in empowering them to become the best version of themselves. This is the leadership that will change the world, not the one that asks, "What can I get from you?" But the one that asks, "What can I give to you?" I have a dream that the world will one day look at us not as a collection of individuals, but as a collective force for good. That we will come together as a community, not because we are the same, but because we recognize that our diversity is what makes us stronger, wiser, and more capable of facing the challenges of the future. that we will no longer see ourselves as separate, but as interwoven threads in a vast tapestry of humanity, each contributing to the beauty and strength of the whole. I dream of a future where hope is not a rare commodity, but a constant companion. Hope that fuels our perseverance when times are tough. Hope that keeps us pushing forward even when we can't see the way. Hope that tells us that the best is yet to come, that every setback is a setup for a comeback, and that no matter what happens, we are going to be all right. We are going to be more than all right. We are going to be great. I have a dream that one day when we look back on the struggles we have faced, we will see them not as obstacles, but as stepping stones, each challenge that we overcame, each lesson that we learned. Each trial that tested our strength will have been the very thing that prepared us for what lies ahead. And when we look back, we will smile, because we will see that our journey was not in vain, but that it was exactly what we needed to become who we were always meant to be. Today, I speak this dream not as someone who has it all figured out. I speak it as someone who believes deep down that the world can be better than it is. I speak it as someone who knows that nothing worth having comes easy and that no dream is too big to chase. I speak it as someone who understands that our time here is limited and that each moment we waste is a moment we can never get back. But I also speak it as someone who believes in the power of today, in the power of this moment. Because the dream I have is not just a distant hope for the future. It is a call to action, a challenge to every person listening to take hold of their own destiny, to step up, to rise, and to make a difference. This dream lives in all of us, and it is only through our collective effort, through our shared commitment to one another and to the world, that it will ever be realized. This dream will not be realized in a day or in a year or even in a lifetime. But if we begin now, if we act with courage, with passion, and with relentless belief, then one day when we look back, we will see how far we've come. We will see that together we made the impossible possible. And we will see that our dreams, which once felt so distant, were always within reach. Belief in universal potential is one of the most powerful forces that can drive individuals and societies toward transformation. It is the cornerstone of personal growth, social progress, and collective achievement. To believe in the universal potential of every person means to acknowledge that regardless of background, circumstances, or barriers, every individual has the capacity to contribute something meaningful to the world. This belief is rooted in the idea that human potential is not defined by what others see on the surface or by what seems possible based on conventional expectations. Instead, it is based on the understanding that each person holds within them the spark of greatness, the ability to rise above challenges, and the power to shape their own future. The first step in embracing this belief is to recognize that every person has a unique set of talents, experiences, and perspectives that make them valuable. These qualities are often overlooked or underestimated, especially when individuals are judged based on superficial characteristics or societal labels. Whether it's due to where someone was born, the color of their skin, the language they speak, or the socioeconomic class they belong to, society has a tendency to place people into boxes and decide who is capable of achieving what. These labels are limiting and often prevent individuals from seeing the full range of their potential. It is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that success or greatness is reserved for a select few, that only those born into privilege, those with the right connections, or those who meet certain societal standards have the ability to rise to the top. This mindset is not only inaccurate, but it also undermines the collective power of humanity. It tells us that potential is finite, that only certain people are worthy of achieving greatness, and that the rest of us should settle for mediocrity. However, when we shift our thinking and begin to see potential as universal, we open up a world of possibilities. Each person, no matter their background or life experiences, is capable of achieving something significant. The potential for greatness lies not in an individual's circumstances, but in their mindset, determination, and willingness to put in the work. Think about the countless stories of people who have come from humble beginnings or faced insurmountable odds, yet still managed to overcome adversity and accomplish extraordinary things. These stories are not anomalies, they are proof of the universal potential that exists within all of us. Belief in universal potential is also about recognizing that everyone has their own definition of success. Success does not have to be measured by fame, fortune, or public recognition. For some, success may be raising a family, contributing to their community, or excelling in a craft or art form. For others, success might mean breaking free from a cycle of poverty or overcoming a personal challenge. The beauty of universal potential is that it is not confined to a singular vision of success. It is about the individual's journey and their ability to push beyond limitations and reach their own goals, whatever they may be. One of the most significant challenges in fostering belief in universal potential is overcoming the internalized limitations that so many of us carry. These limitations often arise from societal conditioning, from the messages we receive throughout our lives about what we can and cannot do. From a young age, many individuals are told what is and isn't possible for them. They may be told they aren't smart enough, not talented enough, or not worthy of success. These messages can come from family, teachers, peers, or even the media. They become ingrained in our minds, and over time we start to believe that we are defined by these limitations rather than by our potential. This is where the power of mindset comes into play. Believing in universal potential means adopting a mindset of possibility, a belief that anything is possible with the right mindset, determination, and effort. A growth mindset is essential to this belief. With a growth mindset, individuals recognize that intelligence, talent, and abilities are not fixed traits, but qualities that can be developed over time through effort, learning, and perseverance. People with a growth mindset do not see failures as a reflection of their limitations, but as opportunities for growth and improvement. This mindset allows individuals to break free from the constraints placed upon them and to pursue their goals with a sense of possibility rather than fear or doubt. When we believe in the universal potential of others, we create environments where people are encouraged to take risks, make mistakes, and push the boundaries of what they thought was possible. In these environments, people are not judged for their shortcomings or their failures, but are supported and celebrated for their efforts and their progress. This kind of environment is crucial for fostering innovation, creativity, and personal growth. It allows individuals to explore new ideas, try new things, and learn from their experiences without the fear of being judged or rejected. When people are free to pursue their passions and dreams without the weight of judgment or self-doubt, they are more likely to reach their full potential. A powerful aspect of believing in universal potential is recognizing that every person has something unique to contribute to the world. This belief calls for a shift in how we view each other, not as competitors, but as collaborators, each bringing something valuable to the table. When we see people through this lens, we begin to value diversity not only in terms of race, culture, and background, but in terms of ideas, experiences, and perspectives. Every individual has a different way of approaching problems, a different set of strengths, and a different perspective on the world. By embracing the full spectrum of human potential, we are able to create richer, more innovative, and more inclusive communities, organizations, and societies. Belief in universal potential also means understanding the importance of access to opportunity. It is not enough to simply believe that everyone has potential. We must also ensure that every person has the resources, support, and opportunities to reach their potential. This requires dismantling the systems that perpetuate inequality and marginalization and building systems that provide equal access to education, healthcare, financial resources, and social support. It is not enough to believe in someone's potential if they are denied the tools to actualize that potential. Equal opportunity is essential for creating a society where every person has the chance to realize their dreams and contribute to the collective good. This belief in universal potential extends beyond individuals to entire communities and societies. When we invest in people, when we create systems that foster growth, education, and opportunity, we are investing in the future. The more we encourage people to pursue their passions, to take risks, and to challenge the status quo, the more we unlock the collective potential of society. This belief drives innovation and progress and enables societies to adapt and thrive in the face of challenges. It is a belief that fosters resilience, creativity, and collaboration. On a personal level, believing in universal potential means taking responsibility for your own growth and development. It means understanding that while we may not be able to control every aspect of our circumstances, we can control how we respond to them. It means taking ownership of our actions, our decisions, and our mindset. We all face obstacles and setbacks, but these do not define who we are or limit what we can achieve. The true measure of potential lies in how we choose to navigate adversity, how we learn from our failures, and how we continue to move forward. Belief in universal potential also challenges us to look beyond our own limited perspectives and to recognize the potential in others, especially those who may have been overlooked or underestimated. It is easy to judge others based on stereotypes or assumptions, but true belief in universal potential calls us to look deeper, to recognize the unique value in every person, and to see beyond their surface appearance. By doing so, we create a more inclusive world, one where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, regardless of their background or circumstances. In the end, believing in universal potential is about seeing the best in ourselves and in others. It is about understanding that each person is capable of extraordinary things and that the path to greatness is not limited by where we start, but by the choices we make along the way. When we embrace this belief, we unlock not only our own potential, but also the potential of those around us. Together, we can build a world where everyone is empowered to rise, to achieve, and to contribute to the greater good. In a world that often emphasizes individual achievement and personal success, the concept of collective responsibility and empowerment is both radical and essential. It challenges the prevailing narrative that progress is a solitary pursuit and proposes instead that true growth, both personal and societal, comes when we recognize our shared responsibility for each other's well-being. This belief calls for a shift from a mindset of me to one of we, where individual success is measured not in isolation, but in the context of community cooperation and mutual support. Collective responsibility is the recognition that no one is truly successful unless the whole is successful, and empowerment is about providing people with the tools, resources, and support they need to take control of their own lives and make meaningful contributions to the collective good. The idea of collective responsibility is deeply rooted in the recognition that we are all interconnected. Our actions, choices, and behaviors impact not only our own lives, but the lives of those around us. In a society that often emphasizes competition and individualism, this idea can seem counterintuitive, as many are taught to focus on their own personal success and to work towards their own goals without necessarily considering the implications for others. However, when we broaden our perspective and recognize that we are part of a larger whole, we come to understand that our individual success is inextricably linked to the success of others. For example, in communities where there is poverty, lack of education, or social injustice, individual success is often harder to attain. Not because of personal inadequacies, but because of systemic barriers that prevent people from reaching their potential. It becomes clear that collective responsibility involves not only recognizing these systemic inequities, but actively working together to remove them. Empowering people to rise above these barriers by providing access to education, healthcare, jobs, and safe living environments is a shared responsibility that requires collective effort. No one person can do it alone. It takes a concerted effort from individuals, communities, organizations, and governments to create the conditions in which everyone has the opportunity to thrive. This sense of collective responsibility is not only important on a societal level, but also on a personal one. In any community, whether that's a family, a neighborhood, a workplace, or a nation, each member must take responsibility for the well-being of others. This might mean offering a helping hand to those in need, advocating for the underrepresented, or simply listening to someone who feels unheard. When we engage in collective responsibility, we do not view others as burdens or obstacles to our own success, but as partners in our shared journey. We understand that the well-being of our neighbors and colleagues is intimately connected to our own, and that we can only reach our full potential when we create a world where others can do the same. Empowerment is the natural extension of this collective responsibility. While collective responsibility recognizes the importance of working together to uplift each other, empowerment is about equipping people with the means to change their circumstances and take control of their own lives. Empowerment comes when individuals are given the resources, opportunities, and support they need to make informed choices, pursue their passions, and live up to their potential. It's about creating environments in which people feel seen, heard, and valued, and where they can take ownership of their futures. True empowerment is not about doing things for people, it is about helping them to do things for themselves. It's about providing the tools and guidance necessary for individuals to build the lives they want, to shape their own destinies, and to contribute meaningfully to the larger society. This means more than simply offering charity or handouts. It means offering education, skills training, mentorship, and resources that give people the capacity to rise up, stand tall, and claim their own space in the world. When people are empowered, they can become agents of change in their own lives and in their communities. They are no longer dependent on others to define their worth or determine their path. Instead, they take control, set their own goals, and take the necessary steps to achieve them. Empowerment can come in many forms. It can be the ability to speak out and advocate for oneself, the knowledge to make informed decisions about one's health, the skills to pursue a career, or the confidence to stand up to injustice. When people are empowered, they are not only able to improve their own lives, but they also gain the strength and confidence to help others do the same. For empowerment to be truly effective, it must be accompanied by an environment that fosters growth, equality, and opportunity. This is where collective responsibility plays a key role. It is not enough to empower individuals if the structures and systems in place continue to marginalize or oppress them. Empowerment cannot exist in a vacuum. It must be part of a broader movement towards social justice and equality. If we are serious about empowering people, we must also work to dismantle the barriers that prevent certain groups from fully participating in society, whether those barriers are related to race, gender, socioeconomic status, or other forms of discrimination. Empowerment, in this context, involves creating pathways for people to succeed and ensuring that all individuals, regardless of their starting point in life, have access to the same opportunities. It's about closing the gaps in education, healthcare, and economic opportunity that disproportionately affect marginalized communities. It's about ensuring that the voices of those who have been historically silenced are heard and valued, and that their needs are addressed. Empowerment is not just about giving people a chance, it's about making sure the playing field is level and that everyone has an equal opportunity to rise. A powerful aspect of collective responsibility and empowerment is that they are not just individual pursuits, they are collective ones. When individuals are empowered, they can take ownership of their own lives, but they also become part of a larger movement to empower others. This creates a ripple effect of positive change where the actions of one person inspire and uplift others. The idea that an empowered person empowers others is a core principle of collective responsibility. When one person is empowered to achieve their dreams, that success has the potential to inspire and motivate others to do the same. Likewise, when people take collective responsibility for lifting each other up, they create a culture of empowerment that spreads throughout the community. This interconnectedness of responsibility and empowerment also plays a crucial role in fostering resilience. Communities that embrace collective responsibility are better equipped to handle challenges, whether they are economic downturns, natural disasters, or social crises. In such communities, individuals support one another, share resources, and work together to overcome obstacles. Empowerment, in this sense, becomes a tool for resilience as it helps people navigate adversity with confidence and strength. When people feel empowered and supported by their community, they are more likely to persevere through difficult times and come out stronger on the other side. A key aspect of fostering collective responsibility and empowerment is recognizing that power is not a zero-sum game. In many traditional models of success, power is seen as a limited resource. If one person gains power, someone else must lose it. But in the context of collective responsibility, power is seen as something that can be shared and multiplied. When people are empowered, they don't take power away from others, rather, they contribute to a larger, more inclusive system of shared power. This creates a more just and equitable society where everyone has a seat at the table and a voice in the decision-making process. Empowerment also involves fostering self-belief. One of the most important aspects of empowerment is giving people the confidence to believe in their own abilities and take ownership of their future. This is particularly important in marginalized communities where individuals may have been taught to feel powerless or unworthy. By providing mentorship, encouragement, and positive reinforcement, we can help people develop the self-esteem and confidence they need to believe that they can change their circumstances. When people believe in their own worth and potential, they are more likely to take action and work toward their goals. Ultimately, collective responsibility and empowerment go hand in hand. They are not merely abstract concepts or lofty ideals, they are powerful tools for change. When we take responsibility for the well-being of others and work together to create environments where individuals can be empowered, we build a foundation for a more just, equitable, and thriving society. Empowerment isn't just about lifting people up, it's about creating systems and communities where everyone has the opportunity to succeed. When we adopt a collective mindset where everyone is valued, supported, and given the resources to thrive, we create a future where the potential of every individual is realized and where we are all stronger because of it. The idea of dismantling limiting systems is both a radical and necessary concept in today's world. At its core, this idea challenges the structures, practices, and norms that perpetuate inequality, injustice, and oppression across societies. These systems, whether they are political, economic, social, or cultural, have been constructed over time, often with the explicit or implicit intention of maintaining certain power dynamics. For many people, these systems are invisible. They are simply the way things are, the way society functions, and the way the world is structured. However, once we begin to question and examine these systems, we see that they often serve to restrict the full expression of human potential and limit opportunities for those who are marginalized, oppressed, or disadvantaged. At the heart of dismantling these limiting systems is the recognition that society has been built upon certain assumptions, structures, and institutions that were designed to favor specific groups while systematically disadvantaging others. Whether consciously or unconsciously, these systems create barriers to access, limit personal freedoms, and perpetuate cycles of poverty, disenfranchisement, and inequality. They impose limitations on what people can achieve, who they can become, and how they can contribute to the larger society. These limiting systems can take many forms, from laws and policies that enforce segregation, discrimination, and unequal treatment, to economic systems that concentrate wealth and power in the hands of a few while leaving the majority without basic needs. The impact of these systems is not limited to a few individuals or communities. Their effects ripple throughout society, affecting everyone in different ways. To truly dismantle these systems, we first need to recognize their existence and understand the ways in which they operate. This requires an honest examination of history, culture, and social structures. For example, the history of slavery and colonialism has had a lasting impact on global systems of power, creating entrenched inequalities that persist to this day. In the United States, for example, the legacy of slavery and segregation has created systemic barriers for Black Americans in areas such as education, housing, healthcare, and employment. These barriers are not the result of individual failings, but of structural inequalities that have been built over centuries and passed down through generations. Similarly, colonialism and imperialism have created power imbalances between nations, with many countries in the global South still struggling to overcome the economic and social consequences of exploitation, extraction, and subjugation. Another key aspect of limiting systems is the role that ideology plays in perpetuating them. Ideologies are the set of beliefs, values, and assumptions that shape how people view the world and their place within it. These ideologies often serve as justifications for the unequal distribution of power and resources. For example, the idea of meritocracy says that individuals succeed based on their talent, hard work, and abilities, while those who fail are simply not trying hard enough. This narrative has been used to justify vast disparities in wealth and opportunity, as it shifts the focus away from the structural and systemic barriers that limit people's access to success. It ignores the role of privilege, inherited wealth, and systemic discrimination in shaping who has the opportunity to succeed and who does not. The belief in meritocracy then serves as a tool for preserving existing power structures by promoting the idea that inequality is natural, inevitable, and deserved. The media also plays a significant role in maintaining limiting systems by reinforcing stereotypes and perpetuating narratives that serve the interests of those in power. For example, the portrayal of poverty, crime, and education in mainstream media often reinforces the idea that individuals who are poor or disenfranchised are responsible for their own circumstances, rather than acknowledging the broader structural forces that contribute to these issues. The media often focuses on individual stories of success and failure, rather than looking at the systemic factors that contribute to those outcomes. This further entrenches the belief that inequality is the result of personal failings rather than the outcome of systems that disproportionately favor certain groups while disadvantaging others. The process of dismantling these limiting systems is not an easy one. It requires a fundamental shift in how we view power, privilege, and inequality. It requires a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about the ways in which certain groups have been historically oppressed and marginalized, and a commitment to rectifying these imbalances. Dismantling limiting systems involves not just legal or policy changes, but also cultural shifts, changes in social norms, and shifts in individual mindsets. It is about unlearning the narratives that have justified inequality and replacing them with new ways of thinking about justice, fairness, and equity. One critical area for dismantling limiting systems is in education. Education has long been touted as the great equalizer, the means by which individuals can escape poverty and achieve success. However, the education system itself is often a vehicle for perpetuating inequality. Schools in low-income neighborhoods tend to have fewer resources, less experienced teachers, and outdated materials. Children in these communities are more likely to attend overcrowded schools and face higher rates of suspension and expulsion. The curriculum is often designed with a narrow perspective that fails to reflect the diversity of the student body or to challenge students to think critically about the world around them. The emphasis on standardized testing reinforces a one-size-fits-all approach to learning, ignoring the fact that students come from different backgrounds and have different learning needs. In addition, the education system has often been used to reinforce social hierarchies. This means recognizing that power is not distributed equally and actively working to change that. It involves creating spaces where marginalized voices are heard and respected, where individuals have the agency to shape their own futures, and where communities work together to build a society that benefits everyone. It means dismantling the structures that have historically kept certain groups in positions of power while keeping others in positions of vulnerability. Dismantling limiting systems requires us to question the status quo, challenge entrenched power structures, and commit to creating a world where all people can realize their full potential. Ultimately, dismantling limiting systems is not a task that can be accomplished overnight. It requires sustained effort, a willingness to confront difficult truths, and a collective commitment to creating a more just and equitable world. It means not only changing laws and policies, but also changing minds, hearts, and cultural norms. It requires individuals and communities to take responsibility for their own roles in perpetuating or challenging systems of oppression, and to work together to create lasting change. The process is long and difficult, but the reward is a society in which all people, regardless of their race, gender, class, or background, have the opportunity to thrive and reach their full potential. Hope and resilience are two of the most powerful forces that humans possess in the face of adversity. In a world that often seems filled with obstacles, uncertainty, and challenges, the ability to remain hopeful and resilient is not only essential for survival, but for thriving. These qualities are what enable people to rise above hardship, to maintain a sense of purpose even in the darkest of times, and to continue moving forward when the weight of the world feels unbearable. Hope and resilience are deeply interconnected, as hope provides the vision of a better future, while resilience offers the strength and perseverance to reach it. At its core, hope is the belief that things can improve, that despite current circumstances, a positive change is possible. Hope is not about denying the reality of difficult situations or pretending that challenges do not exist. Rather, it is about maintaining an optimistic outlook and understanding that adversity, while painful, is not the end of the story. Hope is about finding meaning in the struggle and having the faith that tomorrow can be better than today. It provides people with a sense of purpose, something to work toward, even when the path forward is unclear. It gives individuals the courage to keep going, to take the next step, and to persist through hardship, even when the road ahead is filled with uncertainty. Resilience, on the other hand, is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to recover from setbacks, and to continue moving forward in the face of challenges. Resilience is not about avoiding pain or hardship, but about learning how to navigate them, how to endure them, and how to grow from them. Resilient individuals do not view adversity as something to be feared or avoided, but as a part of the human experience that can provide valuable lessons. They understand that setbacks are not failures, but opportunities to build strength, wisdom, and character. Resilience is not just about surviving tough situations, it is about emerging from them stronger, wiser, and more determined to reach one's goals. Together, hope and resilience create a powerful combination that enables individuals to overcome even the most difficult of circumstances. When people have hope, they have a reason to endure, a reason to keep going despite the odds. When they are resilient, they have the tools to navigate adversity and find their way through even the most challenging situations. Both hope and resilience are learned qualities. They are not traits that people are simply born with, but qualities that can be cultivated over time through practice, experience, and support. In many ways, hope and resilience are born from the ability to reframe challenges and setbacks as temporary, manageable, and ultimately surmountable. One of the key factors in developing resilience is learning how to manage negative emotions, particularly fear and anxiety. In the face of adversity, it is natural to feel overwhelmed, fearful, or defeated. However, resilient individuals are able to manage these emotions in a way that allows them to continue moving forward. Instead of becoming paralyzed by fear or frustration, they reframe the situation in a way that allows them to focus on what they can control. They accept that setbacks are a part of life and that pain is an inevitable part of growth. By shifting their mindset, resilient individuals are able to take difficult situations and turn them into opportunities for growth and learning. Hope plays a crucial role in this process. When people hold on to hope, they are better able to endure difficult times because they have a vision of a brighter future. Hope is not a passive emotion that requires action. When people are hopeful, they are more likely to take steps toward their goals, to seek solutions to problems, and to keep pushing forward, even when the journey seems long and uncertain. Hope gives people the strength to take those next steps, no matter how small, and it fuels the resilience needed to persevere through difficulty. Hope can also be a collective force. In times of collective adversity, such as during natural disasters, economic crises, or social injustices, hope becomes a shared resource. Communities that maintain hope can support one another in ways that individuals alone cannot. When people come together and share their hope, it creates a sense of solidarity, of unity, and a shared purpose. This sense of community can provide the emotional and psychological strength needed to overcome adversity. People are often more resilient when they feel supported by others, when they know that they are not alone in their struggles. One of the most powerful aspects of hope is its ability to transcend immediate circumstances. While adversity can often feel all-consuming, hope allows individuals to look beyond the present moment and envision a better future. This vision of possibility provides a sense of direction and purpose, helping people to see that their current struggles are not permanent and that their efforts will eventually pay off. Hope provides a roadmap for the future, even when the path forward is unclear. It is a light that shines in the darkness, guiding individuals through difficult times and helping them to stay focused on the larger picture. Resilience also plays a key role in this process of transcending adversity. It allows individuals to adapt to changing circumstances and to adjust their strategies when faced with setbacks. Resilient people are not rigid in their approach to life. Instead, they are flexible and adaptable. They are able to adjust their expectations, change their tactics, and find new ways to move forward when faced with obstacles. Resilience is not about sticking rigidly to a plan despite overwhelming odds, but about being willing to change course when necessary, to pivot, and to find new ways of approaching challenges. This ability to adapt is essential when dealing with adversity because the path to success is rarely linear. Life is filled with unexpected twists, turns, and detours, and resilience is the ability to keep going even when things do not go according to plan. The importance of hope and resilience can be seen in countless stories of individuals who have faced unimaginable hardships and yet have found ways to overcome them. People who have survived illness, poverty, abuse, loss, and trauma often describe how hope and resilience played a key role in their recovery and growth. These individuals were able to find strength not only in their own abilities, but also in their capacity to draw on their internal reserves of hope and resilience. Whether it was the belief that tomorrow would be better, the support of a loved one, or the drive to make a better life for themselves or their families, these individuals held on to hope and relied on their resilience to move forward, despite the odds. Take, for example, the stories of individuals who have overcome serious health challenges. For someone diagnosed with a chronic illness or terminal condition, the road ahead can seem daunting, filled with uncertainty and fear. But hope provides the motivation to continue seeking treatment, to persist in the face of pain, and to believe that a cure solution is possible. Resilience is the ability to keep going even when the journey is long, to adjust to new realities, and to find ways to maintain a sense of purpose and joy despite the challenges. Hope fuels the desire to fight, while resilience provides the strength to endure the fight. Similarly, in the context of social and political struggles, hope and resilience are often the driving forces behind movements for change. In the face of systemic oppression, injustice, or sewer discrimination, people often turn to hope as a means of keeping their spirits high and their resolve strong. Hope inspires action, while resilience allows individuals to keep pushing for change, even in the face of setbacks and resistance. Social movements throughout history have been fueled by the belief that a better, more just world is possible, and by the resilience to continue fighting for that vision, even when the fight seems overwhelming. Hope and resilience are also critical in the context of personal growth. Everyone faces adversity at some point in their lives, whether it be the loss of a loved one, a personal failure, or a difficult life transition. These challenges can leave people feeling lost, discouraged, or uncertain of their future. However, it is in these moments that hope and resilience are most needed. Hope gives individuals the belief that they can overcome their circumstances, that they can learn from their mistakes, and that they can find new meaning and purpose in their lives. Resilience allows them to endure the pain and disappointment of setbacks, to learn from those experiences, and to emerge stronger, wiser, and more capable than before. Ultimately, hope and resilience are about the human capacity for renewal and growth. They are about the ability to turn pain into power, adversity into opportunity, and setbacks into stepping stones. When people are hopeful and resilient, they do not let hardship define them. Instead, they use it as a source of strength, learning, and transformation. They embrace the belief that no matter how difficult life may be, there is always a way forward, always a path to a better future. Hope and resilience do not eliminate adversity. They make it possible to face it with courage, determination, and the unwavering belief that better days are ahead. Through hope and resilience, we find the strength to keep moving forward, to face life's challenges with grace, and to ultimately emerge stronger, more compassionate, and more connected to ourselves and to the world around us.